I have a very serious message today. It's going to be a very difficult message for me to preach, but it's a message that has to be preached, is that the Mandela effect has changed the actual text of the King James Bible. The Mandela effect has been gaining popularity on the internet, and especially on YouTube, plastered all over YouTube, which YouTube, of course, has become the devil's favorite playground and medium for propagating heresy of all kinds in our day. And therefore, they, in desperately looking for this shift, are believing that things in our world are strangely changing from the way they used to be, or the way that those with bad memories think that they used to be, to the way that they are now. The Mandela effect hoax was, in fact, named by a New Age witch named Fiona Broom. Fiona Broom. Good name for a witch. That McDonald's used to be spelled M-A-C rather than just M-C. That Meyer and Oscar Mayer used to be spelled M-E-Y-E-R rather than M-A-Y-E-R as is currently spelled. And they see these things as being a shift in reality that's going on, with various explanations of why that is. Hundreds of examples of these types of changes, allegedly, that have occurred are given in scores of YouTube videos, and much worse, many who actually believe that all this is a result of some huge shift in reality that involves time travel and actually the changing of historical facts or events, are using this belief to claim that the Mandela effect has also changed the actual text of the King James Bible, citing to many verses that they claim have been changed and do not read as they used to read. There have been several loose cannon heretics promoting this notion on YouTube for 3 or 4 years now. We're going to look at a few of those verses today that they cite to soundly refute this nonsense. But beyond refuting this foolish assault on God's preserved holy word, the King James Bible, Dave, a man who I've known for many years, who once promoted our ministry, and who I once, until the last couple of years, thought to be a good friend. That wasn't until he unfriended me when I took a position contrary to his on a rather peripheral and irrelevant topic of the identity of the sons of God in Genesis chapter 6, a topic that actually good Christians disagree on and that should not be an issue of fellowship. This is a man who has a rather large following and audience via his podcasts and his newsletters, but who I found out just this past week, after years of having a very misplaced and almost constant focus on the devil and his crowd, on witchcraft and alien and UFO agenda and the Nephilim invasions, on demonic Stargate portals and the CERN particle collider and C-wave computers and other such sensationalistic topics of the type that actually characterizes such fear-mongering charlatans as Steve Quayle and Tom Horn and L.A. Marzulli. But he has now, following that misplaced focus, allowed himself to sink to such spiritual darkness and blindness as to not only fall for this deception and heresy himself, but much worse, to actually be used of the devil to now promote it in launching an attack of his own against the King James Bible that he once defended. Now teaching along with other apostates that the Mandela effect has changed the King James Bible. And he's now asking his rather large internet audience the same question that the devil asked Eve in the Garden of Eden. Yea, hath God said. And who therefore, to prevent some from falling into, or perhaps hopefully to liberate others out of this same deception, I believe that we must sadly, this man must now be warned about and marked as an apostate who should be avoided. As most of you here today already know, the man I'm speaking about is Dr. Scott Johnson. I'll come back to Scott Johnson shortly. However, first, I want to review and remind ourselves of the foundation from which God himself says that we are to view his holy written word. The true Christian religion and faith is built on the sole and single premise that the 66 books of the Bible, as it was originally recorded and as it has been faithfully translated and preserved for us through the ages, is the divinely inspired Word of God.